All right, how about a big round of applause for Leo and a bigger one for Ben as he comes up. Come on up, Ben.
Thank you. So I was enjoying my government-issued school lunch of tater tots and what I think was supposed to be a hamburger, but I'm not sure. Mrs. Hicks walked up to us. Now, Mrs. Hicks was the new substitute teacher at our school, and she was using her supervising period of lunch to familiar herself with the student body. And I have had her twice that year already, and I thought she was a pretty nice lady, so I did not mind her interrupting my mealtime. So, and this was also the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, so Thanksgiving was the subject matter of the hand. So, Ben, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? It's like, oh, I'm just going to spend it with my family. It's like, oh, how long does it take you to get home? And it's like, oh, just a couple minutes. I only live like a mile from the school. It's like, oh, no, I mean your family. I'm like, yeah, my family. She's like, no, I mean back where you come from, back to your home country. I'm like, and all my friends start laughing at the table. And I'm like, no, I'm from here. And she's like, no, Ben, it's not polite to lie to teachers. And I see her getting mad. I'm like, no, I'm not lying. She's like, Ben, if you're lying, you can go to detention. I'm like, I'm not lying. She hauls me up and is dragging me to detention until one of the teachers comes up and just makes so not only was I from there, but I was actually born and raised in the South. People generally don't believe that I'm a Southerner, but it's something I take great pride in. They also immediately dismayed, like some kind of liar or some kind of phony or some kind of eccentric art guy who tries to pretend that he's a foreigner. But no, I'm a Southerner. Though I guess they think that I don't look Southern, I don't act Southern, and certainly don't sound Southern, but I am. In fact, when I say I'm Floridian, they ask me, is that a Floridian accent? And I'm like, no. I have to confess it's not, but it's not an accent at all. It's just the way I sound. I mean, if you heard my parents speak, they don't have an accent. You think there's no more Americans, and if you heard my older brother. But apparently when my sister came along, she developed this accent of ours, and have spread through the whole family ever since. But but in all truth and counting, my mother was actually an 8th generation Georgian. Before that, her family, which is my family, immigrated from Spanish World Florida. So technically, my ancestry is more American than most states. But that simple fact eludes lots of people and doesn't matter. People would choose to believe what they believe, and they hear what they hear. I don't fit into the paradigm of what an American is. And it was great fun when I was a kid. My sister and I used to play games like pretend like, what kind of foreigners were we today? We can be South Africans, or we can be Lithuanians. And once, I swear once, I convinced somebody that I was from Laos. I was a 7-year-old kid. I did not know what Laos was. I just thought it was a fun-sounding country. Totally believed me. But if I said I was an American, no, can't be. And like, no, I am an American. And like, no, always with dismay. And then it was kind of fun when I was a kid. It was hilarious. But when I became a teenager, it became very annoying. And my friends would always make fun of me. I was a constant pick-me on schools. No one would believe where I was from. And it really, it's like, I can't keep asking, where are you from? Where's that accent from? I'm like, I'm from here. But as I grew up, I realized that, it's kind of thing that makes me unique and very special, and people remember me from it, and some ladies think it's sexy. But the teenage myself really hated it. So a month after the Thanksgiving incident, as I like to call it, Mrs. Hicks had come up to us again, and she was like, hey, what are you guys doing for Christmas? And I was like, well, I don't really do anything for Christmas. We're Jewish. And she's like, oh, I did not know you guys had Jews in England. I'm like, I was taken back, not the fact, how such a xenophobic, anti-Semitic, and arrogant response came from such a nice and polite and civilized lady. And I was like, well, Mrs. Hicks, two things. First, I'm sure there were Jews in England. I can't name any off the top of my head, but I'm sure they exist. And second, something I want to drive to the point. I want to say this, I'm not English. I'm Southern. She's like, oh, no, Ben. Here in the South, we think well, you're from where your parents are from. I'm like, my mom's Georgian. It's like, oh, no, your dad. I'm like, oh, yes, that explains it. Yes, my father, he's from that far-off exotic land, Queens. It's like, oh, well, that explains it. You're a Yankee. Yankee? A Yankee? Now, I have no great ties to the Confederacy, but, you know, I was more taken back with the fact that she not only thought it was the most insulting thing you can call a Southern person, but also the most insulting thing you can call somebody from Queens, home of the Mets. Well, this is the point in my life where I realized that, you know, some people are just going to believe what they believe, and I am who I am, and I believe who I am, and I shouldn't care what other people think. So, with a defeated sigh, I go like, yes, Miss Hicks, close enough, close enough. Thank you.